Good morning, dear students. So far we have completed the portions fiber to fabric and we have discussed about different types of fibers and mainly especially cotton and jute in more detail, isn't it? So today we are going to discuss the rest of your chapter. Before going to the next portion, that is about other fiber, we have to do two activities that is provided in your textbook. Okay, and the first activity is that you have to collect the samples of different fibers like cotton, jute, silk, then polyester, nylon, etc. Whatever you get, collect those fibers and observe it very carefully and note down their peculiarities based on the following criteria. There is provided three criteria to observe. Okay, you have to observe based on three criteria, that is light or heavy, then smooth or coarse, and if it is shiny or dull in appearance. These are the three factors that you have to observe in your fiber, the collected fiber, and you have to note it down. Okay, then there is another experiment for you or another activity for you in your textbook. Just look into that.
This is the picture of the activity, which is to observe the effect of burning on different cloth material. You need not perform this activity in your home. I'm just showing it and explaining for you. Okay. So the things needed are a candle, a pair of tongues, and some cloth pieces. And how to carry out these activities? First, collect some pieces of cotton, wool, silk, and synthetic clothes. Then cut some strips from these pieces. Hold each piece of cloth with a pair of tongues over a burning candle. So you can see different kinds of burning, smell, and remnants of this burning for each fiber. Okay, so this is the experiment for you, and the results will be explained in our after the class. Okay.
Next we are going to discuss or we are going to study about some useful fibers other than cotton and wool. Okay. What are the other useful fibers? The first one that we are going to discuss is wool. As we know that wool is a natural fiber which is obtained from an animal, isn't it? That we have studied in our previous class. So, wool is obtained from the fleece of sheep or goat. Wool is obtained from the fleece of sheep or goat. And the removal of fleece from the sheep is called as shearing. Okay, the removal of fleece from the sheep is called as shearing. After this shearing, the wool is cleaned and it will combed by a machine. After this shearing, the wool is cleaned. Wool is cleaned and combed with a machine. Okay. Then after that the wool is spun into fibers. It is spun into fiber, and by the process of knitting it will convert to a woolen cloth. Okay, through a process of knitting it will convert to a woolen cloth with the help of either hand or machine in the large scale. Okay, so this is the process of obtaining wool. So wool is the fleece of sheep is collected, or it is removed by a process called shearing, and after shearing the wool is cleaned and it will combed with a machine. Okay, and after that it is spun into fiber, and then it is undergo a process of knitting. After the knitting process we can obtain woolen cloth with the help of a knitting is carried out with the help of either hand, or in the large scale we can use machines. Okay, this is another important fiber that we obtained from animals like sheep, goat, etc. Is that clear? Yes. Then we moving on to the next important fiber, that is silk. So silk is first developed in China. Okay, it is first developed and cultivated in China, and the silk fiber is obtained from the cocoons of silkworm. It is obtained from the cocoons of silkworms. Okay, so the silkworm will spin a long thread up to 800-meter long to prepare the cocoon. Okay, so the silkworm will spin 800-meter long thread to make a cocoon. Then the cocoons are collected, that is the silkworm is reared and it is put into hot water or boiled water. It is boiled. The cocoons are boiled to kill the silkworms. Because we need only this cocoons. So silkworms are killed by putting it to boiled water. So the cocoons then, the collected cocoons will get unwounded to produce silk. Okay, it is cocoons will get unwound to produce the silk fiber. So by using this silk fiber, the silk fabrics or the silk clothes are prepared. So this is the process of preparation of silk from silkworm. So it is first developed in China and it is obtained, the silk fiber is obtained from the cocoons of silkworm, and the cocoons, silkworm will spin around 800-meter long threads to make the cocoons, and the silkworms are reared and the cocoons boiled to kill the silkworms, and after that the cocoons will unwounded to produce the silk fiber, and then this silk fiber is converted to silk clothes. Okay, so this is the process of preparation of silk. So, the rearing of silkworm for the large scale production of silk is called as sericulture. Sericulture. So, sericulture is the rearing of silkworm for the production of silk fiber. It is called as sericulture. So, then we moving on to the next portion, that is the history of clothing material. How the clothes are getting evolved from the ancient period to the latest period. Okay. There is a progressive evolution of clothing material from the past period to the latest period. Okay. So, during the early period, that is the ancient periods, the human beings did not aware of any clothings. So, they did not wear any fiber like clothings. They are only used barks of trees and also leaves to cover their body. Then after when the arrival of seasonal changes like winter season, extreme cold conditions will occur, isn't it? So, so that time they were used animal skin and fur to wrap their body. So, that's all the things which are used by ancient period human beings. When they live in a agricultural community, they weave twigs and grass to make mats and baskets. Then after that they were used the techniques of spinning. Okay, and during the ancient period there is no cultivation of cotton, and after some time the cotton is get cultivated and the fluffy material which is obtained from cotton is used for spinning. Okay, and during the early period of Egypt, they were used to cultivate the flax, the plant of flax for the preparation of fibers in the river sides of Nile. Okay, and in India in 3000 BCE, during the 3000 BCE before Christ era, cotton is began to cultivate, and in China around 3000 BCE period they were used to domesticate silkworm during that period. So, they began to produce silk fibers, and during the earlier period they were not aware of stitching of clothes. The clothes that are used in early period only sari for women and dhotis for men. Okay, so they were these two are unstitched clothes, isn't it? These two are not stitched, so it is called as unstitched clothes. So, during that early period they were used the women used sari and men used dhotis. So, these two are used by wrapping it in around their body without stitching during that early period. Then after the invention of needle and all, the materials are begun to stitch and used as a kurta, churidar, etc. that we also wear today. Yeah, isn't it? So, this is the evolution or the history of a clothing material. During earlier period, the human beings are not aware of any clothing, so they used natural materials like fur and leaves of trees, bark, etc. Then after 1000 years ago, the clothing, the spinning of clothes are occur, and in India around 3000 BCE period the cultivation of cotton is established, and in China around 3000 BCE the cultivation of silkworm is also established. So, after that the production of sari and dhotis are invented, and the unstitched clothes are used, and after the invention of needles and stitching machines and all, the human beings used to wear stitched clothings. Okay, this is the brief history of evolution of clothing material. Is that clear to you? So this is all about this chapter. We have discussed about different types of fibers, then what are natural fiber, synthetic fiber and mixed fiber, and what about cotton, then jute, wool and silk. We have studied in detail, isn't it? So, if you have any doubt regarding this portion, you can contact me, and the activities regarding these topics will send you after this class. Okay, thank you.